Let's do it. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Portia Wheatley. I am the founder and the president of a nonprofit organization, acknowledged as Trophy of Life Incorporated. And we have the great opportunity, the privilege, and the God assignment to render hope, encouragement, and inspiration to you, our audience across the whole wide world. I am going to bring in my co-host.
Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. My name is Takira and I'm so happy to be here with you. So our guests today are none other than us. But we're so happy to be here today to render hope, encouragement, and inspiration. And before we get started, I'm going to remind you to please go to our YouTube page if you have not done so already, and subscribe, share, comment, engage with us. That's how you become part of our team, because you're helping us to spread hope, encouragement, and inspiration to the entire world.
To the entire world. And our words have power, and we have faith, and we believe it. Just like he said it would happen, it's happening. Well, today we want to talk to you about the topic, talk is cheap. You ever had a friend? Well, it could be an associate or a friend that is always talk, and never do what they say, or talk, talking about you should do this, you should do that, but never live what they speak about. Nowadays, we have to be true to ourselves. If you can't do something, don't say you can do it. If you want to do something, you kind of like can speak it by faith. But I always say talk is cheap. Live the life that you talk about. Live the life that if you can't live it, don't talk it. I'm about this, if you're talking about it, be about it. If you're saying something that you're going to do it. Always, you hear a lot about people saying different things that they're in their experience that they want to do, but they have no action to even start it, don't have any action to start it. But it's not the fact that you literally cannot do it, but the fact of the matter is that you're putting it out there, you're putting it out in the atmosphere that you want to do a certain thing. So that's starting it, and that puts value on it. The other part of it is when we talk it, let's be people of integrity. We have to be people of integrity. The world is full of people with scams and with things that are misleading, with people that you cannot trust. Even sometimes the words that come out of our mouths, people that hear it and really know the character of the individual, they're already like, she's not going to do that, only because they know of our history of talking and not doing. Again, talk is cheap, but we just want to live that life that people can say, oh, I know her character. She's a person of integrity, and she's going to do just what she says. Now, we understand emergencies. We understand situations that come up that cause things to change. But we're actually talking about when you actually constantly talk, and not do. There's a difference there. Your thoughts, Takira?
Oh, I have quite a few thoughts on this. So you are so right. Talk is cheap. Now, you may be watching this and saying, that is not me, but I guarantee you, everyone, including myself, has done this before. Now we have to look at why. So you may have good intentions on doing something, but like you said, an emergency may come up, or you may get really, really busy, or maybe you're just not organized as a person with your schedule and things you have to do. So a lot of times, I'm sure you have said, oh, I'll do this, even if it's something as simple as, oh, I'll call you right back. And then you don't call that person back. No, I am guilty of that. And a couple of years ago, my grandmother said, Takira, do you know you always tell people, oh, I'll call you right back, and you just don't call them back? And I'm like, well, I didn't realize that because, it just came so common for me to say it. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to call them back later. And I never, ever get to it. So even something as small as that can make a big impact on somebody. Because for that, I had people waiting like, girl, you said you're going to call me back. And I'm like, what you talk about? No, you have to be careful of what you're saying. So being a person of integrity, a woman or a man of integrity is a big thing. So even small things are you can work on when it's talking about, talk is cheap. So that's one thing I am definitely working on. So if I don't think I'm going to be able to call you back, guess what? I won't say it. I'm like, all right, talk to you later. And just hang up. But no, really, we really have to try our best to do what we say we're going to do, because your word is really all that you have. And like you said, Ms. Portia, about scams and things like that. The world has become even more evil, more corrupt, more, just not great. It's not the greatest place. But what makes you stand out, is if you are a person of integrity that keeps your word. And I'll talk later about how you can do that. But that's what I have to say about that right now.
All right. And we should know now that your word, of course, your word is your bond. They used to do that. That saying came up years ago where you said one thing out of your mouth as an agreement. That was just like a contract, literally like a contract. And we must understand that our words have power and our word is valuable. Our word means something, just like you said, Takira. It has value. It means something to individuals who have had lies told to them years and years and years from people that they trust. And when those words come out of an individual's mouth that they want to turn a new leaf over on, and that person starts that same trend again from the old person now, it's damaging to individuals. It can be very damaging. So just remember, your words have power. Your words are valuable. And don't forget our topic, talk is cheap. So if you're going to talk it, be about what you talk about. I was thinking also, when we are indecisive or we may be confused about things, when trauma hits, when death may hit, when things don't go our way, and we start to talk out of hurt, we start to talk out of pain, we start to talk out of confusion. But we must realize that when we speak, again, our words take on form. Our words take on form. So in the midst of your heartache and your tears and your pain and your trauma and your devastation, what do you turn to? Do we turn to eating food out of stress, being stressful? Do we turn to alcohol? Do we turn to drugs? Do we turn to gambling? Do we see all of these things? Do we try to sex it away? It's all in how we look at life. And then if we're an individual that say, well, I turn to God, but yet we go back to the gambling and the sexting and the alcoholism and all of that, are we really turning to God? The word of the Lord says, cast all your cares on me, for I care for you. I'm personalizing it. For I care for you. So when we're talking one thing, but we're living something else, We have to do better there. Again, talk is cheap if we're not living what we talk about. So there are things that we have to really come to grips with in our lives to say that if I'm going to talk the life that God wants me to live, I have to be truthful for what I say out of my mouth. I have to be integral for what I say out of my mouth. Talk is cheap only if we don't live what we talk about. You think so?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes,
definitely.
definitely. And this really right now is for what I'm about to say is like for the believer, of course, but with any religion that you practice, for those things that for whatever you believe, are you living those principles that you talk about? So for the believer, like you said, cast your cares on him. Now listen, guys, we are human beings. It's so easy to be like, oh, let me fall back into something that's comfortable. And whether it's food or you said drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever you're used to or whatever you used to do, but when they say, when the Bible says cast your cares on him, do you know how to do that? That's one thing I've always asked people. A lot of times in church, we're taught these things, these principles in the Bible, but sometimes, depending on where you worship, they may not teach you how to cast your cares on him or how to do some of the things they're saying. So of course, we're not saying you have to be super perfect, but I think in my book, you have to at least give it a try,
Right.
and that is what will separate you from those, especially with Christianity. I swear, I think Christianity is the one where everyone's like, oh, they're fake. They're not telling the truth. They don't walk what they talk. I'm not sure how bad it is with other religions. I've heard just a couple of things, but with Christians, I'm telling you, it's like that's the one faith. They're like, oh no. Mm-mm. So how can you be an example of what not to do with that? So I think it's just worth an effort, and you cannot be so hard on yourself, but you can't be irresponsible when it comes to living the life that you profess, for sure. And that's just that, like, you have, because people are always watching you whether you know it or not. And I know, being growing up in church all my life and being a youth leader back when I was, a teenager and young adult, and you just never know who's watching you. So when you have that time to make a decision on something or a choice to do something, or what, this is not going my way. Am I going to cuss this person out, or am I going to, or I just had a traumatic event happen in my life. Am I going to turn to God, or am I going to just, okay, I'm just going to go out and party? When you do stuff like that, of course, people expect you to say, okay, you're not perfect, but are you trying to live the life that you are claiming to live? And that's the thing, because you never know, your choices affect other people that you don't even
Yes.
realize. Because I've even had people I've looked up to, they'll even know, and I'm like, oh man, well, they're not trying to do A, B, and C, so maybe I shouldn't have to do it either. So you never know what choice that you make that will affect someone else in their faith, in their walk, in their life. Look how they look at themselves and the choices that they decide to do. So that's
Definitely. And when you say people are looking at your life, I think about the scripture that talks about us being living epistles written to men. Men, they look at your actions more than they listen to your words. We
mm-hmm.
say things out of our mouths, but we do something different. So, like you oftentimes say, what we put out to the audience of Project 365 is what we try to live ourselves, and we try to practice ourselves. So, when we're encouraging to do better, encouraging you to do better, we're encouraging ourselves to do better. We're trying to live a life that's pleasing unto God, and not even maybe on that level, but live a life that would represent Christ in the earth. Live a life that would represent your family. Live a life that would represent your children, and vice versa. Your children would represent who you are, what you taught them. You talk what you're being about. Speak
Mm-hmm.
out of your mouth. You proclaim it, you declare it, you decree it. All of that goes together with the life that you live, and the words that you speak out of your mouth. So you want to be a powerful person, and then put those powerful words out in the atmosphere so that the words that you speak take on form and come back to you in this universe. It is amazing. We have to practice it though. We have to practice it. We say we love God, and we're doing this for God, and we're saying this for God. And, well, some of the stuff that people do in the name of God, he didn't call for all that.
Yeah.
He didn't call for all that, but make sure we do what he's called for. And
Yeah.
what it may take for one person may not take for another. But don't look at me look at me in a condescending way, because it takes all of that for me to do or be who God has called me to be. If it doesn't take all that for you, keep it moving.
Yeah.
Keep it moving, but don't talk out of your mouth the negativity on another person. That will come back to you as well. We do unto others as we would want it to be done unto us. But again, don't forget, your words have power. You speak truth out of your mouth. Let your words line up with your life. Let your words line up with your life. And when you do that, God will bless you with whatever. We are his instrument. We are his instrument. I can't take a hammer and screw a light bulb in. That's out of, that doesn't work together. But when I am used by God in the way that he's called me to be used, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Put it like that, because that's what the word says. And then when I know that, I can speak it out of my mouth to you to declare and decree, and for you to know that if he's done it for me, he will do it for you. But just know that talk is cheap. And if you want to live a life that's powerful, start to speak it. Speak it out of your mouth. Whoever you want to be, whatever you want to be, speak it out of your mouth, because we don't have a long time on this earth. Yeah, some people live a little while, some people live a long while, some people are nice, some people are mean. Whatever the case is, wherever your life is, know that it can be better. And if you want it to be better, speak it out of your mouth by faith that it will be better. Whether it's personality, character, your spiritual life, your natural life, you want to do better naturally, speak it. Speak it and walk it. Be about it. Don't just talk about it, be about it. And then when people read your life, not just your words, not listen to just what you say, but when they read your life, you may become an instrument of God as well, because you become a testimony of what you talked about. And that becomes valuable. Those words that you've spoken out of your mouth becomes valuable. However God can use you, do it.
Yeah,
Be about
definitely.
it. Everybody doesn't have the same experience. Everybody doesn't have the same experience. And where I may be able to help someone just because of the words that I've spoken out of my mouth, where I can help someone, you may not be able to do the same thing, Takira, and vice versa. What experience you've had in your life, I may not be able to touch people because I wouldn't be able to relate. But when I've had that experience, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it because it empowers. And one of the things that we really love to do is to empower people, to give hope to individuals, to encourage others, to inspire. And I pray that this has inspired you to watch what we say, watch what we speak. If we know we're not going to live up to what we've spoken, let's practice trying to bring it down a notch. Bring it down a notch and think about what we speak about. Because once we put things in the atmosphere, again, negative or positive, our words have power.
Yeah.
And then
go ahead. One thing I was going to say, I think one way or the first step in being able to, walk what you talk and not having, the talk is cheap. Oh, you can't trust her, is to be authentically you and be genuine and transparent in where you are. It's one thing to speak or manifest of all these positive things of what you want to do, which is always great. But it's another thing to put on a facade of this is who I am and try to cover up what you're going through or what you're struggling with. And I think being transparent, especially in these times, is so important. And that's really how you can help others, by being yourself and realizing what you're going through and acknowledging some of the things you may be struggling with or working on, and saying, I'm going to do better, or I want to do this is where I am, but I know it's going to get better, because we're all struggling with something. We're all trying to get better in different ways, in different areas of our life. And that's the best way that you can be, you can walk the walk, you can walk what you're talking, because when you are you, and you're honest with yourself, that's what it takes. Number one, being honest with yourself. How many people out there are lying to themselves? You think they're lying to you, but they're really lying to themselves because they're trying to, cover up, whether it's shame or whatever, of what they are, what they've done. It doesn't mean you have to stay that way. So that's just one thing I just wanted to put out there, because like I said, I have things I'm working on. And listen, I'm always telling you, I am not perfect, honey. Don't even try to put that claim or that title on me, because don't even put the halo, tilt it a little bit, like, and that would be for me, because there's plenty of things that I need to do to work on to better myself, especially when it even comes to being accountable with things like Project 365. You don't even know it's helped me to be accountable in other areas of my life, because when you make a commitment to do something, when you're talking the talk, okay, I'm going to show up 365, as much as I can, then you're actually you're walking the walk. You're being authentic. You're being genuine. You're being accountable, someone that can count on you. So I just want to encourage everyone out there to just be yourself. Don't compare yourself to others and say that you're something that you're not, or you are at a place where you're not. Be who you're supposed to be who you are. And that's how you get better. And in that way, we won't say, oh, there goes such and such. She said she's going to do this, but she's not coming. No, she's going to be late. I'll tell you, listen, I might be late. I'm working on it. So just say where you are and then speak where you want to go. That'll be much better than saying something that's not true.
Speak where you want to go. It is so powerful. It reminds me of a child. Many times we ask the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they give you all these different answers. And you look years later, you look back and say, I remember when they said that they wanted to be such and such, but they worked on it through elementary school. And I know the parents helped them with their grades, their homework and all of that, but they worked at it until they got to where they spoke about. So it's value in being a person of integrity. Let's work on that. So that way we won't even have to come back to this topic again about talk being cheap or not valuable or not worth it, or, in what the words that we present to the world. But today, we're not even going to say talk is cheap anymore, because we know we're working on the value of our words. We're working on it. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so very much for joining us on today. I appreciate you. I appreciate our audience. Today is what? Day number?
I think it's 317.
I know it's in the 300s. So we're in home stretch. We're in home stretch. Let's put this out there, Takira. Now, to our singers, individuals who have been blessed with a ministry of song, contact us. Let us know. Share your gift. I can't put it out there enough. Share your gift with the world. Individuals who have a topic that you would like to share that's close to your heart, contact us. If this program or broadcast, whatever you want to call it, is not about Takira and I. This is about getting a message of hope, encouragement, and inspiration across the whole wide world to the audience. So whatever gift you have, it doesn't have to be just ministry. It could be something natural. It could be something that would inspire someone. This is your opportunity to get it out there. All right. Just know also in December, we're presenting you a week of the man. Project 365, the man. It will be 7 days of powerful men that will come and share with you about manhood from A to Z, whatever um, falls under that umbrella of the man. We have powerful men coming to you. I do believe is the week of the 12th, but we will definitely come on, Portia. Come on, work with what you got. Work with what you got. But we are going to bring it to you in December. So keep watching. We have some powerful information for you to bring to Project 365. Again, thank you for joining us on today. We look forward to you joining us on tomorrow. At what time, Takira?
1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
God bless you. We love you.